Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or The Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a 2020 NFL mock draft. We are going to be drafting for every single team all the way through the first round, all 32 first round picks. Now, before I get in this video, I just want to give you guys a bit of a warning. I am not some type of NFL genius. I'm not Mel fucking Kiper. I am Notorious Fantasy, just some guy who talks about fantasy football on the internet. Now, even Mel Kiper, even these other geniuses get shit wrong, so you have to understand that. In this video, there will be no trades. I am going to do another mock draft closer to the actual time that the draft happens in April, where I do trades for the mock draft. So let's just get right into it with the first pick. Now, the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL draft is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this should be very obvious to anyone who watches this video, who pays attention to the NFL, and that is the fact that the Bengals do not like Andy Dalton. The Bengals sat down Andy Dalton for Ryan Finley in 2019. Who the fuck is Ryan Finley? Exactly. They bench him, then Andy Dalton plays much better. Once they re-bench Finley and then put Dalton in, it's just a bunch of idiocracy happening over there in Cincinnati. So if the Cincinnati Bengals right now, it is very obvious who they are going to pick. I see no reason why they do not select Joseph Burrow, quarterback out of LSU, with the first overall pick in the 2020 draft. I would be very surprised if he is not the first guy voted in there in Las Vegas to get the first overall pick. Now, something that does worry me is the fact that Joe Burrow is talking about all this shit, and all these other people are talking about this shit, how Joe Burrow has all the leverage. He might pull an Eli Manning. He might be a crybaby and go away from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, whether that happens or whether that doesn't happen, I still think the Cincinnati Bengals select him here at number 1 and then trade him later. So this was probably a lock. This is a mortal lock. Bet the mortgage. Bet everything you own, because there's no way anyone besides Joseph Burrow here is selected at the number 1 overall selection here by the Cincinnati Bengals. So that is what we are going to do. So now it is the second pick of the 2020 NFL draft, and the Redskins are up. The Washington Redskins. Last year, the Redskins selected Dwayne Haskins to get their franchise quarterback. Now, will Dwayne Haskins be the answer for their franchise quarterback? Maybe, maybe not. Now, to me, this is also a very clear pick. Now, there are some things I will talk about here, though. The fact is that I'm not going to be doing trades in this draft, but I would not be surprised at all if the Redskins traded this pick away to another team who wants to select Tua Tagovailoa, or how the fuck you say his name, Tua Tagovailoa. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I want him to come to Miami, but I think that some team may make a move here to select Tua at the second overall selection. Now, right now, if it is the Redskins, I think that the Washington Redskins select Chase Young out of Ohio State edge rusher. It is very simple. In many people's eyes, he is the best player in the 2020 draft, so the fact that he could fall to number 2 is amazing for the Washington Redskins. He is a former teammate of Mr. Dwayne Haskins. They both went to the Ohio State University. Now, he is going to play very well for this Washington Redskins team. I really see no reason why Riverboat Ron does not make the selection to bring Chase Young in here in 2020, so that is who I will select as the Washington Redskins. Now we are on to the third overall pick of the draft, and we have the Detroit Lions. Now, what do the Detroit Lions do here? A lot of people believe that the Detroit Lions are going to want to go ahead and get a quarterback. They believe Matt Stafford is on his way out. Now, Matt Stafford is not really that old, guys, if you think about it. He still has a bunch of good years in the NFL as long as he can stay healthy. Now, I know over the last 2 years, he has dealt with injuries. He has had that back messed up last season, and the season before that, his back was still messed up, but he still played in every single game because Matt Stafford's kind of an alpha male. Now, some people believe that the Lions will select Tua here, and to me, that is not what is going to happen. I do not believe the Lions would favor getting Tua here. I think the Dolphins may trade up to this spot as well. If they're not trading with the Redskins, they might trade up here to get Tua. But I don't think that is what is going to happen in this mock draft. This is a mock draft. I'm not going to be trading. I don't think that is what's going to happen. I think that they're going to go ahead and select someone off the board for their defense. Now, this defense has not been that great the last couple of seasons. The Detroit Lions have lacked on defense. They do have some solid options on the offense. They've got quarterback Matt Stafford. They've got Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, Kerryon Johnson, all these solid pieces for the offense. Their offensive line is not all that bad. So what I think they do is they select a defense defensive player, and that would be cornerback Jeffrey Okudua of the Ohio State University. Now, he is a teammate of Chase Young. I think these guys go back-to-back. Michael Jordan, 96, 97. I think that the Detroit Lions are going to be looking for a player on the defense. Man is a certified fucking beast, so I'm liking him here. Now, the thing is, what's going to happen with Darius Slay? Do they bring Darius Slay back this season? I am not too sure, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jeffrey Okudua from the Ohio State University to the Detroit Lions. So now it is our pick, the New York Football Giants. It's been our pick the whole fucking time, actually. I'm drafting for every single team, so to me, this is also very, very obvious. We are going to be selecting the best offensive tackle that is available. And to me, there is actually some type of discussion here. Who is the best offensive tackle? Is it Jedrick Willis, or is it Mr. Micah Becton? Micah Becton out of Louisville, or is it Willis out of Alabama? So if we click on him here, you could read some quick stories on this, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck about his analytics report? He's a 4-star recruit out of high school, and he is an offensive tackle out of Alabama. Now, I am not really sure who they are going to pick here. I would not be surprised if they went with Becton. I would not be surprised if they went with Jedrick Willis. So I'm just going to go ahead and select what most people are going with. Now, this is obviously my mock draft. I could do whatever the fuck I want. But based on what I have looked at in the past, a lot of people believe that Becton is the better option at the offensive tackle position, so that is who I'm going to be selecting for the New York Football Giants. They need to build this offensive line so that Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones have more time to pass or run the ball. It seems like last season Daniel Jones was left on his ass. He was trying to get back. He fumbled it like a gazillion times. You don't want your quarterback fumbling the ball a million fucking times. So we are going to be building him a fortress, a goddamn wall, and we're going to be drafting Mekhi Becton. I'm sorry if I pronounced these guys' names wrong, guys. I'm not some type of a genius who can pronounce all these guys' names. So, the next pick is my Miami Dolphins pick, and this is clear to me. If I'm the Dolphins, we need to trade the house to get this guy. I believe Tua is by far the best pick here. I think Tua, if he magically can stay healthy, will be a generational talent, will be a superstar at the quarterback position. And I think he could also 100% be a goddamn flop like another Dolphins quarterback we have there named Joshua Rosen. Now, Tua is elite talent. You've seen he is the left arm of Jesus Christ himself. He is beautiful out there. He throws the ball up there with the best of them. To me, if he didn't get hurt, he may have been the #1 overall selection to the Cincinnati Bengals, but he ended up getting hurt, so we are going to be selecting Tua here. I think the Dolphins let him ride the pine for a season, and then, obviously, next year they let Tua loose, so we're going to select Tua here. Now it is the Chargers pick here. What do the Chargers do here? Now, they let go of Phillip Rivers, so it's pretty fucking obvious what they're going to do here, and they're going to select a fucking quarterback. Now, the best quarterbacks, let's see, can we show just quarterbacks? Is that possible? It is. Now, there is a bit of a debate that I've seen on the internet between Love and Herbert. Now, a lot of people are just going to say Herbert is by far the better quarterback out of Oregon, and to me, that is also the case. I know some Chargers fans do not like Herbert, but out of the tape I've seen from Justin Herbert, he looks like a solid passer. They're going to try to draft their franchise guy here in the top 5 picks. Now, what could change here in the next couple of months is once free agency becomes unlocked in March, what are they going to do? The Chargers, do they bring in a guy like Thomas Brady? Do they bring in another guy to fill in at the quarterback position? Who really knows it? But if they're going to draft a quarterback, I believe it is Justin Herbert out of Oregon here at the 6th overall pick, a guy that I think could have the potential to be a franchise quarterback. Obviously, any guy drafted in the first round typically is thought of as that first round or as that superstar talent, as that franchise quarterback. So we are going to go ahead and select Mr. Justin Herbert here. So now it is the pick for the not the Cincinnati Bengals, the Carolina Panthers. Now, right here, what do the Carolina Panthers need? The Carolina Panthers, according to this, they need some D-line, they need a quarterback, they need some cornerbacks, offensive line, linebackers, safety, running back, tight end. They don't need a fucking running back. I don't know what this thing is talking about, but To me, what they go out and get here is they try to build more defense. The Carolina defense needs to have something out here. They need to have a defense. I think they may be able to bring in a quarterback in free agency to replace Cam Newton. So I think that is what they go ahead and do in the offseason. I don't think that they actually draft a quarterback here. And if they draft a quarterback, I would probably just wait on Love till later in the draft. Or I would just go ahead and draft one of those late round guys. A guy like Fromm out of Georgia. Some other guys, notable names. Jalen Hurts, potential beast in the NFL. And as well as Jacob Eason is a guy that a lot of people are talking about. Jacob Eason is actually going to fly up the draft boards, I believe, out of Washington. A lot of people are talking about him in the draft community, so I believe that he will actually skyrocket up there. And Hurts, as a later round type of guy, in like the second or third round, fourth round, to me, would be an absolute steal. That's who I would look for if I was the Carolina Panthers, so I just say fuck it and draft a guy for the defense. The defense definitely needs some help. So who do they select on defense? The best D tackle available right now, according to this website, would be, as we can tell here, let's see. Am I stupid? Where the fuck is D tackle? Let's see. We're just stupid. We can't find D tackle. Okay, offensive tackle, defensive line. There we go. That's what we're looking for. D line. And the top ranked guy here is Derek Brown out of Auburn. I'll probably end up editing that out. If I didn't, it's whatever. If you guys haven't enjoyed the video thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Make sure you're tuned in here for a while because we're going to be talking about a lot of guys here. Now, Derek Brown has been a beast for the Auburn fucking Tigers? The Auburn Tigers, I believe is what they're called. I'm terrible at remembering colleges' names. Now, this guy is a 5-star recruit, a straight-up max star rating for Auburn. He is a fucking beast for the defense. I think that Derek Brown is he's a TDN, according to TDN, he is the number 4 ranked player, so I see no reason why the Carolina Panthers here would not select him in the 7th round. They definitely need that defensive line help. So the next pick in the draft is the Carolina Panthers at the 8th overall pick. Now, a lot of people are talking about how the Cardinals are going to draft a wide receiver. Now, they have a lot of wide receiver talent on the team. They have guys, to me, they have guys like Larry Fitz, who's going to be there maybe for the next 30 years because Larry Fitz is still a reliable guy on the team. Sure, he's not the great Larry Fitzgerald that we used to see in the past, but he's still a solid wide receiver. Now, there's also other guys that are on that team. They got a guy like Christian Kirk, who they bought into last year, and they have other guys that are young and have potential to develop. So I'm not sure if they would go the wide receiver route. They may go for a defensive route, or they may go for an offensive line route, and I think that is what they do. They need to protect my main man, Mr. 5'6", Kyler Murray. So I'm going to go ahead and select the best offensive tackle available at the current position, and that is Jedrick Willis out of the Alabama Crimson Tigers. The next pick in the draft is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the pick number 9. Now, the Jaguars used to have a stout defense. They were a team that you talked about that everyone was talking about as a very feared defense. Last year, that defense was spread open like the fucking river or the Red Sea when Moses wanted to spread that shit. It was just wide fucking open like Tyreek Hill if Richard Sherman was covering him, or Sammy Watkins when Richard Sherman was covering him. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a team that really needs pretty much fucking everything, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, besides wide receivers and running backs. Their quarterback, Gardner Minshew, okay. Big Dick Nick Foles, okay. I mean, I don't think they draft a quarterback here at pick number 9. I think what they're going to try to do is target that defense and build a more elite defense. I see no reason why here they would go and draft a guy that is a wide receiver this early in the draft. They have guys like D.D. Westbrook, Baby Shark, and a bunch of other guys on the team that I think are solid options. So I think that they definitely target the linebacker position here, or the wide receiver, not the wide receiver position, or maybe build a bit of the edge rusher type of deal here, a corner, anything on the defense, really. So I'm going to go ahead and select the best player available for me for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that is oh my God, I said the wrong name. I looked at the wrong guy. That is Mr. Isaiah Simmons, of the linebacker of the Clemson Tigers. Now, Simmons is a fucking beast. I don't know if you guys watch college football. I don't watch too much college football, but from what I have seen, this guy is a certified beast. He is a guy that can play both positions. He's a linebacker. He can also play safety. So I think I'm going to be targeting Isaiah Simmons here. He seems like a lock for this team. The Jaguars love to build that defensive talent, especially after Jalen Ramsey said bye-bye last season. Now it is the Browns pick. The kings of fucking up your draft is the fucking Cleveland Browns. They suck at drafting, if I'm being honest with you. They have blown so many drafts. It's fucking crazy. They have more busts on their team than Lana Rhodes does on her face. Now, at the end of the day, I think that the Cleveland Browns are going to draft an offensive tackle. One of their offensive tackles actually needs to stay off the weed. That man got straight up arrested, 157 pounds of the weed. Now, they're going to need to build that offensive tackle. They're going to need to build that offensive line. So I think I'm going to go ahead and select the best offensive tackle still available. And according to this website, that would be Mr. Wirfs out of Iowa State University. That is who I'm going to be selecting here. They need the offensive tackle. I'm going to select the best offensive tackle available. After that, it is the New York Football Jets. Now, to many, this is where the New York Football Jets say, fuck it, and they draft a wide receiver, where the first wide receiver of the draft is actually selected. Now, for fantasy purposes, some people believe that all these other guys might be better than them, but if we're talking all-out talent, the best wide receiver in the 2020 NFL Draft is going to be Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. Him and Tua looked like a certified smoke show out there, but then Tua got hurt, and he still played okay with a trash backup quarterback. I think that Jerry Jeudy is up next. He is a great NFL talent. I think that Jerry Jeudy is going to be a certified beast. He is a wide receiver one, and with Robbie Anderson likely leaving this New York Jets team for dead, I think that Jerry Jeudy fills in well for the New York Football Jets, and that is who I'm going to be selecting here. After going with Jerry Jeudy here, I think that the Oakland Raiders here are going to fuck around and select yet another wide receiver. I think we see maybe potential for a wide receiver run to happen here early in the draft. At pick 11, we saw Jerry Jeudy to the New York Football Jets, and at pick number 12, we are going to be seeing Mr. CeeDee Lamb to the Oakland Raiders. Now, CeeDee Lamb looked like a certified beast out of the Oklahoma State University. The Sooners. Go Sooners. You saw that Sooner fucking Boomer Sooner. You saw a bunch of those horses that carried that shit fall over. That has nothing to do with CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb is not going to be a bust like that thing was a bust at holding down the horses. This man is an absolute fucking beast. I see no reason why the Raiders wouldn't attack him. Sure, they have Hunter Renfrow. Sure, they have Tyrell Williams. But is Hunter Renfrow really a wide receiver one in the NFL? The answer is probably not. He's much more of a slot kind of guy. He's much more of a guy that I think will be a secondary option for whoever the quarterback is of the Oakland Raiders. I don't think they select a quarterback here. I think they go after a quarterback in the free agency. So I think that CeeDee Lamb here is the pick for the Oakland Raiders. Now, the Colts. What do the Colts need? To me, the Colts have a great defense. Jacoby Brissett fucking sucks. Well, he doesn't suck. He's actually just about okay. So I think they either keep Brissett or try to bring in another quarterback that they think could maybe take the reins from him, bring in an older type of guy. I don't know who the Colts are going to bring in, because there's just not that many quarterbacks to go around. Maybe they bring in Teddy Bridgewater, but I think they go after a wide receiver here at the 13th pick, and I think the best wide receiver still available is Mr. Henry Ruggs, the third. Now, I know a lot of people will say, oh, Nick, why would you take Henry Ruggs over any of these other wide receivers? All these other wide receivers are also great. Well, the thing is, they are all great. Personally, I think that Justin Jefferson is also a first-round talent, but I'm just not sure any team is going to reach up and assert dominance and pick him earlier in the draft over a guy like Henry Ruggs. I think Henry Ruggs will be a solid talent for the Colts, who need a wide receiver. Now, I know I know they have T.Y. Hilton, but T.Y. Hilton's getting up there in age. T.Y. Hilton has been getting injured. Last season, he was an injury-prone hack. What do they do this season? I think they go ahead and draft a wide receiver, and they're going to select Henry Ruggs here. I know they have guys like Paris Campbell. I know they have other guys at the wide receiver position that can go out and catch passes, but I think they want to assert their dominance and draft a guy like Henry Ruggs here. They don't really need any defensive help to me, and I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback, so I'm going to go with the best wide receiver available in Henry Ruggs. With the 14th overall selection in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a team that does not need anything to do with a wide receiver. They have two of the best wide receivers, in my opinion, in the NFL on the roster as of right now. They have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, so there is about a 0% fucking chance that they go out there and select a guy on the offense or at the wide receiver position. I think that they don't need a quarterback. A lot of people will tell you that Jameis Winston sucks. Jameis Winston is not the solution. If Jameis Winston could somehow throw 40 touchdowns and throw only 20 picks, he'd be a baller. I know that the picks may not go down, but he got LASIK. He can fucking see better now. I'm going to go ahead and pivot away from the fact that they would want a quarterback. I think Bruce Arians will continue to try to keep Mr. famous Jameis Winston on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going to go out here and select a player that is on the defense here. I think they need to get a defensive fucking player. I don't think they really need an offensive line, but that might actually be what we are doing here. I don't really have anything prepared for this video. I'm just going off of my head, off of what I believe. So I'm actually just going to pivot here and select the best offensive tackle still available on the board. As we can see here, there's guys like Andrew Thomas out of Georgia, Josh Jones out of Houston, Lucas Nenang out of TCU. So I'm going to select Mr. Andrew Thomas out of the Georgia Bulldogs, a 4-star recruit out of high school. This guy is a powerful run blocker, according to them. They need to run the fucking ball. I don't know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do. They literally switch running backs every single game. It doesn't matter. They need to protect famous Jameis Winston so he does not make some type of dumb-ass decision when he throws the ball. So that is who I'm going to be selecting. That is Mr. Andrew Thomas here out of the Georgia State Bulldogs. Now at the 15th overall pick, we got my buddy Max the Animals team and my buddy Lucas Kaser's team, the Denver Broncos. Now, what do the Denver Broncos need? What do the Denver Broncos need? You might be thinking they need a wide receiver. To me, they kind of do need a wide receiver. They got Cortland Sutton and a bunch of other fucking scrubs on that team. I know you might be saying, maybe Nick, Deshaun Hamilton is good. Nick, Deshaun Hamilton's great. This, that, the other thing. He's not fucking good. Deshaun Hamilton has not really done shit last year. They just have no idea who he is. So I think they go out there, they fuck around, and they also draft a wide receiver. Now, they're going to reach here a bit, and they're going to select Laviska Schultz, I forgot how the fuck to say his name, Jr. out of the Colorado University. This dude is a fucking beast. If you watch his highlights on YouTube, just type his name in, based on how it shows it on the screen. I'm not going to pronounce it again. You type that shit in, you find one to some Jumpman, to some Drake, to some whatever the fuck you want to listen to, and it's just beautiful. It will make your eyes drop some loads out of it, and that is who I'm going to be selecting here, Mr. Laviscus Schultz Jr. out of the Colorado University. So the next pick here is the Atlanta Falcons. Now, where do the Atlanta Falcons need here? I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to need to draft something on defense. Their defense is just about as dead as it gets. Their defense literally looks like it gets mollywopped every single game. Their defense gets absolutely bent over and fucked without the use of any KY jelly. So we're going to go ahead and select the best edge rusher or defensive player that is out here. And to many, that is Mr. Kalavion Chasian. Terrible names, like I said, guys. I'm not going to be able to pronounce anyone's fucking name. I will be able to pronounce it in the next video because I will do an even further deep dive and Google how to pronounce these guys' name. Now, he is out of the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers, and I'm going to be selecting him here. It's either him or Epinesa out of Iowa. I think either one of these is an opportunity for him to go, and I'm just going to select the best guy available, and that is going to be him. Now, the Cowboys are up. What do the Cowboys need? They need a corner. They need a safety. And they need some bit on defense. Their defense is pretty good. They don't need a quarterback. They don't really need any wide receivers, any running backs, any bit of that offensive line. That offensive line is fucking beastly. So I don't think that they draft anyone on the offensive side of the ball. And I think they go ahead and target a defensive guy unless they let Amari Cooper ride. They let him go. And then I think they might select Jerry Jeudy here, maybe. That is what happens. But we're going to go ahead and select Mr. Let's see who the best available corner is here, and that is CJ Henderson out of Florida. This guy is a fucking beast. They need a corner. They need someone on defense. I think that is who they go ahead here and reach and select Henderson. Now, it is the Miami Dolphins pick, my Miami Dolphins here, and I think that the Dolphins do something a bit sexy here. They go for a bit of a sexy pick. Now, their offensive line, really not that good, but based on what I know about the Miami Dolphins, is they don't give a fuck about the offensive line. I'm sure that at the end of the day, Mr. Flores will make the right decision and select a offensive lineman here. That's what I think they should do. What may end up happening is they say, fuck it. Let me get generational talent in DeAndre Swift. And the Miami Dolphins need a running back. Their running back core is fucking shredded. What they should do is build an offensive line and then draft a couple running backs later in the draft. They have about a gazillion picks in this fucking draft. They have 3 picks in the first round. We're at pick 18. A couple of picks at 26. We pick again. So I would select here DeAndre Swift and just hope to the fantasy football lord, not the fantasy football lords, the NFL lords, that someone good falls to us on the offensive line later here in the draft. And I'm going to go ahead and select DeAndre Big Dick Swift. That guy also has some beautiful highlights. Him and all the running backs in this class. Taylor, Dobbins. It will make your eyes blow a fucking load. So now we have the Oakland Raiders again. They picked at 12. They're picking up again here at number 19. We got them a wide receiver. So now we're going to build some defense for them here. We're going to be looking at some corners for them because their corners were getting a bit burnt like fucking toast out here. And Fulton is the best corner still available. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, LSU has a lot of guys that have been taken so far in the first round. Let's see. We got Burrow. We got fucking Chasen. We got 2. I lied. It seemed like there was a lot more. We've got 2 LSU guys in the first round. And we're going to get another one here, the third in Fulton here. I think Fulton is a great talent from what I have seen. I'm not some type of NFL expert who watches a gazillion fucking college football tapes just to do this video. I will continue to do my research to make this video even better next time. But as of right now, we're going to be selecting Fulton out of LSU at the 19th overall pick, and we still got 12 picks to go. We're 30 minutes probably almost into this video. We're balls deep in this video, and if you guys have enjoyed thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Now we got the Jacksonville Jaguars back again here. Now, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, what we have selected for them early in the draft, we got a line. We got that line, but we're going to go ahead and select someone that I think they really do need, and that is a cornerback. So we're going to go ahead and reach into the cornerback section here, and we're going to fuck around and select the best cornerback still available, and that is Jeff Gladney out of TCU. Now, I know he's ranked as the 37 guy. He's not it's a bit of a reach. Who gives a fuck? We're going to reach here and pick the best cornerback. I think they need a cornerback, unless there's a safety still available, because they also kind of need a safety as well. Xavier McKinney out of Alabama is still available, so I think that's actually who we're going to go with. We're going to go ahead and select the safety here so that they don't get burnt like toast and that defense plays much better this year. Now we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Now the Philadelphia Eagles need just about everything aside from a quarterback. Their defense did not look good at all this year. Their defense was banged up, so they need some defense. They need a wide receiver probably too, because their wide receiver core was eviscerated. Alshon Jeffrey is a fucking injury-prone hack, so I don't know what they do here. I think that they may go ahead and select a wide receiver here in Justin Jefferson out of LSU. I personally believe this guy may be the best wide receiver in the class. Out of all the games I've watched of Justin Jefferson, he seems like a certified beast, so that's who I'm going to be selecting here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Next up here, we got the Buffalo Bills. Now, it tells me here that the Buffalo Bills need a wide receiver. Personally, I don't really think they need a wide receiver. They got some solid wide receivers here, so I think we're going to go ahead and draft a defensive player here and an edge rusher in Mr. espn. He's the 15th ranked guy on this TDN website. He fell to 22. Congratulations, the Buffalo Bills. Your defense is going to get even more stout. They have a great defense as of now. I think that they hammer it in here and select a great edge rusher here out of Iowa. Now, the New England Patriots have a pick. So you know what the Patriots will probably do? They'll end up saying, fuck it, and they'll trade out of this pick. They will just not pick in the first round. It seems like they never have a first-round pick, but if they magically stay here, I think that they go for an edge rusher here as well. That defense was amazing. What they should probably draft is a fucking wide receiver, but they're just not known to do that. They got N'Keal Harry, Edelman. They don't know who's going to be their quarterback in 2020. I think it's going to be Brady. But as of right now, I think that they just fuck around and select a defensive player or an offensive tackle here. We're going to be looking at the offensive tackles because I think that Brady was getting a bit too much pressure this year. It seemed like they do have a great offensive line, but they can't really run the ball. Sony Michel's kind of washed the fuck up. So I think they select an offensive tackle here in Josh Jones. Now, the next pick in the draft is the New Orleans Saints. Now, New Orleans Saints, they are a team right now that is set up to win now. I don't think they go wide receiver because they have Michael Thomas, but they may try to get a guy opposite to him, and I honestly think that they might actually do that here. They might go ahead and fuck around and draft a guy like Rieger here, who is a fucking beast out of TCU. His highlight tape also beautiful. Rieger is who I'm going to be selecting here at the 24th overall spot for the New Orleans Saints. I think that they do it because Michael Thomas, he got the ball a gazillion times last year. I think they want to try to spread the ball out more, and Drew Brees will need to get another offensive weapon here in Mr. Rieger. And now it is the Vikings pick, the Minnesota Vikings. Now they need an offensive line to help Dalvin Cook, that injury-prone hack, from getting hurt. So I think they select an offensive tackle here in Mr. Nang. Now this guy, I have no idea how to pronounce his name. He's from TCU. Should be a good player here. Should be able to block for Mr. Kirk Cousins. Now it is my Miami Dolphins pick. And here, I think we draft some defenses. Some defensive player. We fuck around. We got our running back. We're going to go ahead and select an edge rusher here in Mr. Gross Matos out of the Penn State University, PSU. That is who we're going to select here. I think that we get an edge rusher here, either that or build an offensive line here pick, but I think they could just wait until the second round. They got some picks there. They go ahead and they pick one there, and we get an edge rusher here to build that defense. Now is the Seahawks picks. They don't need really anything on offense. They have the wide receivers. They've got all that. Their defense is pretty stout. They have the brothers on that defense. So we're going to go ahead and select an edge rusher here as well. I'm going to go with the best edge rusher available in Terrell Lewis. Now it is the 28th overall pick in the draft, and we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, they need a quarterback because their quarterback's a running back. Haha. Funny fucking joke, Nick, you goddamn idiot. I know, that was an amazing joke. Now, right here, I personally think that they go and attack a linebacker at this pick. We're going to look at the linebackers still available. Guys like Patrick Queen still available. Kenneth Murray. Now, I've heard more good news about Kenneth Murray over Patrick Queen. Nothing against Patrick Queen, but that is who I am going to be selecting here in the draft. I'm going to be selecting Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma. Now, it is the Titans' turn. There's about a 0% chance that the Titans draft anyone here. I think they might fuck around and draft a quarterback. I think they might fuck around and not pay Ryan Tannehill. And Love fell all the way back here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they went and got Love, but I can't really see them doing it. Their defense is pretty good. I think they should build a much better O-line for Mr. Oh my fucking God, Derrick Henry to run behind. So we're going to select Cesar Ruiz here, interior O-line out of Michigan. And now it is the Green Bay Packers pick. And if they don't select a wide receiver here, they are pants on the head fucking dumb, because it's just Devontae Adams. They have no one else there. I'm just like T. Higgins out of the Clemson Tigers. I don't know why they wouldn't select a wide receiver. Devontae Adams is getting up there in age. I know he's not that old, but they need to get someone out there besides him, because at the end of the day, the other guys that are on the team are not getting it done. Guys like MVS, guys like the other fucking guys that are on the team are just, I can't remember their names because they're so relevant. They were guys I really liked last year, and they just shit the bed. So we're going to go T. Higgins here. And now with the 31st pick in the 2020 draft, we got the Super Bowl losers in the San Francisco 49ers. And who do the 49ers select? I think the 49ers actually will select one of these running backs, and I think that they select Jonathan Taylor here. I know they don't like to pay running backs in San Francisco, so I think that they just draft one. They just say, fuck it, we're going to draft Mr. Jonathan Taylor. I know they have a gazillion running backs on the team. That may not be what they do, but I think that they personally attack Jonathan Taylor here, and I think that the Chiefs do the exact same thing. They go ahead and they select J.K. Dobbins here out of the Ohio State University. They shift Damian Williams out of there. They say, fuck it. I know the Chiefs are not known for drafting running backs, but I think they go ahead and select J.K. Dobbins here. To me, that is what I would do if I was the coach, Mr. Kool-Aid Man, Andy. I'm so dumb. Andy Reid is his name. So we're going to select J.K. Dobbins here out of the Ohio State University. Our draft is fucking complete. We fucking did it. To go over the draft here, if you guys would like to read it again, you go ahead and can. I will scroll down real quick. And thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, make sure to click that subscribe button. If I said anything dumb, I'm sorry. I am an idiot. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure to click that fucking subscribe button. Make sure to tell your family you love them. Have a blessed rest of your day. Goodbye, my friends.